you're getting like a million hate comments or whatever, just turn off your computer, right? So it's cringe that he's not specifically calling out his like former associates who arguably were far worse in this situation than Nick was, right? But it is also basically he's recognizing that like, hey, at the end of the day, it was me who uploaded this video. I should receive the brunt of the criticism, right? Honestly, the way I fully forgive Nickisnotgreen is if he apologizes to Don.
I also want to specifically apologize for the carelessness used in how I talked about Matt and Ryan's late friend Daniel. It is concerning and cruel to say the least that I was not more immediately outspoken against the way that Daniel was talked about.
All right, so we're going to be watching the new Nickisnotgreen apology, or should I say Green is not Nick. And, well, basically, ever since the Supermega situation, if you don't know about that situation, I suggest you go watch Turkey Tom's whole video about it. It's a really good one. It's a banger. Good watch. In essence, Nickisnotgreen slandered Supermega and a lot of the people involved, and he's apologized, like, I think he's apologized a bunch. I don't want to give an exact number, but this is at least his third apology, maybe his fourth or fifth. I honestly can't remember between all the Twitter apologies he's done and the video apologies. It's just been way too much for me to fucking all keep in my head. But yeah, we're gonna be giving this video a watch. We'll see if he's really sorry this time. Okay, all of his previous apologies have really not been that good, if I'm being honest with you. And honestly, I have a feeling that this apology might follow suit. Because, I mean, basically, he's just been bleeding subscribers for, like, the past month, right? I have a feeling that might play into his motivation when apologizing here. But anyway, that's enough yapping. Let's just get into the video. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, that's on. Let's get into
this
the video.
I want to address how I have made my content throughout my time on this platform, but more specifically with a series of videos I made regarding Supermega. If you're unsure about what happened, I'm going to be talking about a lot of my specific actions in this video, but if you want a more detailed overview, I would watch this video by Unpoetic Justice that summarized and documented a lot of what happened since July. I'm going to be linking that video in the...
Ooh, that's a little bit of a red flag, I'm not going to lie. Who is this Unpoetic Justice person, I wonder? Holy fuck. Unpoetic... I wonder, I swear to fucking God, if this person is, like, a part of the, like, of Nickisnotgreen's community, I'm gonna go crazy. Like, who is this person? I challenge our perspectives is interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know this creator. I've never seen anything from them, so I'm not gonna judge them too hard. I don't know. Maybe they're based. You never know. But, yeah, honestly, he should have just shouted out Turkey Tom's video because it's infinitely fucking better. I'll just say that.
Description. For the past 6 months,
I shouldn't say that. I haven't watched her video. I feel bad now.
Defending
I'm being
myself
kind of a
against
dickhead.
criticism for how I used my platform in a series of videos I made attacking Matt Watson and Ryan McGee of Supermega. I stubbornly persisted and posted videos thinking that I was somehow the victim in this.
Oh, actually, that's a really good admission right there. Yo, after the Supermega, well, I should say, while the Supermega drama was happening, he basically just had like the hardest fucking head ever, and he just would not back down. Right? It honestly it mirrored very well to the to Def Noodle's situation, right? Where he just like had like the hardest fucking head. He would not back down on any points, and he was just going at it, right? I mean, which obviously made him look like an unhinged psycho freak. And the same thing kind of happened to Nickisnotgreen. So I think a good first step, at least, is definitely admitting that, like, you were hard-headed and you definitely made some mistakes and you were not the victim in all this, right?
This drama that was stoked by YouTubers that friends of mine had a bad experience with. In December, I decided to take a step back from posting videos, and over the span of...
That's also another green flag. He's calling it a bad experience, not a definitive, like, sexual assault or anything, right? But we'll see if he retracts that later in this video. I'd be willing to bet he does. But anyways, you can never challenge a woman on anything or else you'll get eaten alive. That's what
the
I
last
learned.
month or so, I have slowly processed
I
and realized just
I'm
how
gonna start sounding
wrong
like a red
I really
pillar.
am. And the realization of being ignorant and immature and dangerous throughout the course of this whole thing has not actually been a unique experience for me. This situation followed patterns.
Dude, actually, that's so true. I wonder if he's going to talk about the Sneeko situation at all, right? Because That's how I actually got introduced to Nickisnotgreen. If you didn't know, he basically made a video on Sneeko. He made a few good points, a few like pretty soy points about like, oh my god, he was mean to a trans person, and like, yeah, and like humped the camera at one point, right? It wasn't a good video overall, really, but you know. And basically, at the end of the video, he instructed his audience to go and like basically taught them how to flag down Sneeko's channel and be like, this is how you report him for harassment or whatever. And then a while later, Sneeko did actually end up getting banned, right? So, I mean, that was like super fucking cringe, and he was obviously wrong in that situation. I wonder if he's going to touch up on that at all during this. Hey, K-Huck, how are you doing?
Behavior that are rooted in my character and how I respond to criticism from other people. And I realized that I'm not really getting hate because of the content I make or because of the audience that I have or because everyone else is wrong. I got all this criticism because I was wrong. When I initially started...
Dude, could you imagine actually having that like mindset where it's like, everyone is criticizing me because I'm correct? No, dude. If everyone's criticizing you, it's probably because you're incorrect, right?
Started receiving criticism for these videos, I really only saw the most aggressive and the most extreme reactions to what I did, and I immediately ignored it and turned away from it. And not just those comments.
All right, awesome. Okay, I'll be there.
Are actual fans of mine who were worried about what I was doing. I would see certain content.
For anyone else watching this, I'm gonna be on K-Huck's stream Wednesday next week, so tune in for that. He did get hate because he's retarded. That's why he got hate. He's like a retarded baby.
Creators making countless videos against me who I didn't like, and I would not take it seriously at all. I would see disgusting comments about me and my friends, and I would turn away from it and refuse to give it any validity, and I would keep working through it and doing my job as if I had nothing to apologize about. I wouldn't watch.
And I mean, dude, that is the most scumfuck. Like, it is a very effective way to respond to criticism, but it is also like the most scumfuck possible method, right? Where you just literally ignore everything, don't engage with anyone, and just keep doing your stuff. Because like 95% of the time, that works. Like, it just works if you just keep making videos, because that's all people really want to see at the end of the day is videos, right? However, yeah, it's obviously bad for anyone who wants actual justice, because these people fucking suck and they're not engaging with any of the audience, right? Like, yeah, it's just, yeah.
Watch the videos. I wouldn't read any of the comments. It took way too long for me to realize that not only was I wrong about the way that I have used my platform over the past few months, but a lot of the people who I shat on, who made content about me, were actually right. This
Turkey
is the fifth
Tom.
time I responded to this.
I hope.
Every single time before this, I have done
Let's
or
go.
said things that have made my actions even more harmful. I wrote off any of the criticism, basically saying that the people who were making videos about me weren't credible sources in my eyes. They were responding in bad faith. And this isn't something that I have only done in this situation, but it's something that I've done during my past few years on YouTube. I
Sneeko situation.
Never really took a fair look at what people were saying about me online, because whenever I saw the most aggressive comments, I ignored everything else. And I tried to move on as if I've done nothing wrong. I have horrible anxiety around reading or seeing content about me, and it caused me to do some very ignorant things. But with,
I mean, if that's the case, then like you just, okay, I don't, if you have like horrible anxiety or whatever, right, you just shouldn't look at it, right? Like, that is the easiest solution online. If you're getting like a million hate comments or whatever, just turn off your computer, right? Like, I'm not saying he's trying to look like a victim, but like nobody is a victim of like online bullying. Or I will say there is some instances where it's like very excessive and obviously bad, but I mean, I don't think that was the case in Nickisnotgreen's situation. I don't think that's the case in a lot of the situations where people try and claim they were bullied online. Doesn't say name. He doesn't name names, pussy. Yeah, true. I would love to see him actually like apologize to some of the people who he was like, you know, shitting on or whatever, right? But then, no, that'd be too good, Luna. You don't get it. He's not at that point in the character arc yet. You got to give him some time.
Without making those videos and receiving the kind of criticism I did, I don't think I would have come to this drastic of a realization. I think I would be making the same exact videos I was making before if none of this had happened. I surrounded myself with validation and people who insisted that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't comfortable telling people close to me that I believed I could have been wrong because I was afraid to face reality. And I see how it could be expected that I would come into this video blaming the people I surrounded myself with who enabled this kind of behavior. I could talk about how I trusted the wrong people in my life. But the reality of the situation is, despite who I was friends with, despite who I chose to publicly stand with, I was the one that made the decisions to act in the way I did.
Okay, kind of based, kind of cringe, okay? So it's cringe that he's not specifically calling out his like former associates who arguably were far worse in this situation than Nick was, right? But it is also based that he's recognizing that, like, hey, at the end of the day, it was me who uploaded this video. I should receive the brunt of the criticism, right? That is actually very based from him, is that he's accepting responsibility. But I wish, dude, he's like cucking us, bro. I want him to name the names. I want him to call out that little fucking freak. Ethan is online. I want him to point out the fucking rat that he is, okay? Ethan is online and Noah Samson, bro. They're both just the fucking worst, man.
And react to the criticism I was getting. And when I was trusted to be a responsible content creator who is doing things that other people won't do on this platform, I turned out to be a coward. I have full control over how I edit and write and do everything on this channel.
True.
Yet these mistakes still happened because they are rooted in who I am as a content creator. And I had the realization that in order to use my platform in the most responsible way I could, I needed to have a complete overhaul of my behavior, and I needed to make major changes to how I make my videos, including how I receive and respond to feedback. And that's something
I wonder if he's going to go into depth, like how he's making videos differently now, or how he's like receiving and responding to feedback differently. I wonder, because okay, if you have like really bad anxiety over like looking at comments and receiving feedback, you're not just gonna be able to instantly like flip that off and then like suddenly now you're really good at it with like no plan or anything. You'd like, I know like YouTubers going to a therapist is very cringe, but like one good thing about therapy is it can actually help you set up like plans for yourself, right? Where it's like they set up like a new process for you of like how to do things and how to go about your life. And every time you like encounter like criticism or I don't know, something else, like every time you make a new video, you can go through like a thought process that really helps you think things out better. Money, money, money. Exactly. That's all he's after. Nick does not have Nick is trying to get the green.
That I need to start.
He don't got motion
now. The way that I treated online controversy and the people involved was gross, and it is cruel, and not just in the Supermega video, but in a lot of
oh my god, it was gross.
My videos in the past 3 years. I've made a career off publicly shaming people for mistakes that they may have desperately regretted. And of course, it's ironic that I have spent hours over dozens of videos laughing at people's mistakes.
Okay, that comment was a little cringe. I've spent hours criticizing people over things like they desperately regretted. I mean, come on, does that mean it shouldn't be called out? No.
Mistakes in the way they respond to criticism when I myself have been closed off to any criticism or feedback that I receive.
Honestly, I don't even know if this guy's grifting. I think he just might be stupid. I don't know.
On my own
You just might be that dumb.
And I'm aware that I've had content in my past that people have considered harmful and that people have spoken out about, specifically my J-pop idol group video, my Love Surge video, my video about that couple breaking up.
Okay. Why these videos, bro? I have not seen these videos. I'm probably not going to watch them if I'm being honest with you. But I mean, come on, bring up this Nico video, okay? If this guy was really sorry, he'd bring up his fucking shitty ass Nico video. His Nico video was objectively probably one of the most blatant showings I've seen of like breaking, like even YouTube TOS says you can't direct your fans to go report someone. So I mean, very technically he was breaking TOS, right? Very blatantly. And he won't bring it up, bro. Say Sneeko's name.
Even more of my videos have received criticism for being too mean and promoting hate towards people who do not deserve it, and for that, I am deeply sorry. I know that I've been defensive in the past when people have criticized my channel for having opinions that are too surface level, or making videos with not enough effort.
I mean, who cares about that? Making low effort content is the best, okay? That's why my content is the best, because it's no effort. I'm just reacting to this guy make a fool of himself, okay?
were hurt by what I was saying and what I was making, and regardless of my intent, I chose to ignore these people and to continue making my content, and for that, I'm sorry. I had my sights on making my videos efficiently and consistently without putting the proper care that is required for the kind of audience that I have. My priorities were on my...
I mean, okay, that's a fair... I'll retract that past statement. If you're looking into actual serious allegations, you just need to make that clear, right? Or you just need to, like, put in, like, the bare minimum effort to make sure your audience knows that these are allegations and nothing's definitive, right? Like, that's all you really need to do is, yeah. See you, K-Huck. Everyone remember, Wednesday.
Growth and my income, and that drive caused me to forget about everything else that was going on around me so I could feel better about myself. And so this video is not only a statement and an apology, but it is a public commitment to using my platform in a way that is constructive and has integrity. I personally do not believe that
I'll hold you to it, Nick. I'll hold you to it. Don't you worry, buddy.
or critique videos.
I'm watching every upload. No, I'm not.
I know plenty of content creators who do what I do in a good way, but the way that I was making content was absolutely harmful. It was careless, and it is not up to the standards that I want to set for myself moving forward. My content has lacked the care needed to deliver personal opinions that are educated and thorough, and I continually prioritize the efficiency of my content over making videos that I am truly proud of. I want to publicly apologize to Matt Watson and Ryan McGee for harmfully mishandling my coverage on a situation that I should never have been involved.
You know, who you should actually be apologizing to mostly is Don, right? A lot of people don't remember this, but Don, the supposed, like, sexual assaulter, right? There's no real proof that he did anything, right? It's all just hearsay and, like, talking about it. Like, I'm not even saying I don't believe Lex or whatever, but there's, like, just literally no proof. It is a he said, she said situation where either of them could be correct, but it just hasn't been proven. And Nickisnotgreen aired those allegations without a second thought about this guy. And then, you know, of course, Supermega, the worst thing they did in this situation was actually promote those allegations in their video as well. They said, yeah, Don's a bad guy in their videos as well, which is obviously super fucking scummy. Okay? When just nothing has been proven, right? It's okay to cover these allegations, but you need to make it clear that these are allegations. This guy is not definitively proven to be a rapist of any sort. And, yeah, if honestly, the way I fully forgive Nickisnotgreen is if he apologizes to Don. That would be just such a huge step. And, like, that would be redeeming right there, honestly.
I'm sorry for repeatedly being ignorant because I was too afraid to face criticism, and I just talked and listened to people who made me feel like I was right. I made posts insulting and denying any wrongdoing on my end because I was too afraid to challenge anything else. I made my initial videos about Supermega because I had pre-existing feelings and beliefs about them based on what friends of mine told me in private, and I got angry and I wanted to fight for them.
I mean, obviously, that's retarded. I can understand the feeling, but bro, like, obviously, when there's a conflict of interest like that, like the person, like they're your friend or whatever, then you just need to, like, stay out of it mostly. Because it's just, you're going to be so biased, like your coverage is going to be worth, like, nothing, basically. Unless, of course, you're able to disconnect from your personal relationship with your friend and actually cover it in an unbiased manner. But obviously, Nickisnotgreen was not prepared for that, as we can see.
I got my emotions involved in a conflict that I had nothing to do with. I saw all of these comments as harassment to me, my friends, and my family, and it caused me to react in a destructive way. At the time, I believed that agreeing with what people were saying about me or apologizing would be turning on those close to me, and it would make me a flawed person and content creator. But it is humiliating to come to the realization that the content I make is far from helpful or honest or safe. And the way that I deflected blame for my own actions ended up...
Yeah, honestly, dude, it's like all these, like, I don't know what to call the NPC tube community. Like, they all think they're doing, like, the right thing and they're fighting the good fight, and they're all very morally righteous because, like, they're fucking leftists, right? Like, I don't know, personally, I'm not that political. But I mean, all these people have this, like, sort of feeling of self-importance to them that is so fucking obnoxious. Like, I already said their names, I'll say them again. Noah Samson, Nickisnotgreen, Ethan is online. Ryan Beard, even like all of them are so fucking insufferable, and it's because of that self importance they have to them, right? Poor boy, lol. It's just like it's fucking insufferable, and it's weird that Nickisnotgreen is like kind of coming to that realization and like breaking off a little bit that just because he is a leftist and he has all the correct good leftist opinions, that he's not a morally righteous person. He needs to actually intake criticism. This is literally Def Noodle's character arc like last year, bro. I'm telling you.
Hurting both parties involved. The decisions that I made while covering the Supermega situation and the way I responded to criticism ended up hurting the people that I was trying to help in the first place because I didn't handle it with the care that was needed. Everyone was worse off because of my actions. There were people close to me that had to endure harassment because I refused to listen to those in my life.
Nobody endured harassment, buddy. Come on. Unless there was like real IRL shit happening, I don't think anybody was enduring harassment. This is another L. Another Nick L. Like, who is enduring harassment? Are you talking about Lex? I mean, I don't think Nick is I don't think Nick is friends with Lex or Ethan anymore. So I don't know who he could be talking about actually right here.
Who were telling me that I may have been doing something wrong. I realized that I made a mistake in my first video saying that I asked for permission to cover the story from the victim, and then later in my coverage said that I was actually asked to cover the story. Now, I want to clarify that I was asked to cover this story by the victim, but that does not remove any of the accountability I need to take for how I covered the story and how I responded to the criticism I got from it. That is nobody's fault but mine. I used a serious situation as an excuse to make insults and jabs at Supermega because I got emotionally involved in a conflict that should have been treated with more.
And I mean, yeah, like the personally, like insulting people is so like, hey Spooky, like insulting people is so weird, right? Because it's not like he's doing it as like a joke, right? Like, cause like a joke is one thing. It's meant to be funny. It's meant to add humor to the video so people watch for longer, right? They like your personality. But like just insulting someone because like you don't like it, it's like a weird thing to do in a YouTube video. I don't know. It just makes you come off as so vindictive. And I agree he shouldn't have done it in the video. If he wanted to do that, he should have just made it more humorous in nature, you know?
More severity, childishly insulting Matt and Ryan and thinking it's okay because I'm the good guy and they're the bad guys is an embarrassing decision that I decided to make. I made digs at Supermega's relevance. I put edits in my video of Matt getting punched in the face, all because I was convinced that it was all right to bully these people in front of hundreds of thousands of people because I thought they were awful. And for months and months, I refused to believe that I was...
to apologize. I doubt it, bro. That guy is like fucked up in the head. I don't think he knows what an apology is, to be honest.
Problem. I put my head down and I kept working because I just kept telling myself that people were going to stop caring and the whole thing would blow over. I really wasn't comfortable with saying anything like this for a long time, but truly my character was the only thing stopping me from facing my mistakes, and I am ashamed of that. My behavior in the past 6 months is not something I stand behind proudly. I again want to apologize to Matt and Ryan and everyone else involved in this situation.
He needs to apologize to Dawn, right? Like that would be the home run, right? Like honestly, this video isn't too bad. It's all right, but I mean, an apology to Dawn is really needed from a lot of the parties involved, and he just hasn't had one, and it's very unfortunate. Hey, Mr. Gamer. Did you not get the reaction the first 2 times, so he's redoing his apology? I mean, yeah, kind of. It's more like... This one's actually better because he's conceding on almost everything, right? Except for, like, the Dawn stuff. That's what really needs... That's why, yeah.
Situation, regardless of if I agree with them or disagree with them. There's not a single person who I did not let down with my actions, and I am so sorry for using my platform destructively. I also want to specifically apologize for the carelessness used in how I talked about Matt and Ryan's late friend Daniel. It is concerning and cruel to say the least that I was not more immediately outspoken against the way that Daniel was talked about in other people's videos, including my own, and the fact that I believed that this information was relevant at all to this story is ridiculous. I convinced myself that I was reporting the true testament of someone's character when in reality I used someone's tragedy to push an agenda. I was blinded by this hate that I had on behalf of people who were close to me, and it led me to do and say some pretty awful things. Learning just how much growing I have to do and how flawed I really am has been the hardest but probably most important lesson I have learned in my life.
Flaw number 1, Down syndrome. Okay.
So far, I would not be
can't.
making this difficult of a decision if it were not for the people who were this persistent about my bad behavior. And I am grateful that I have been given this many chances to finally take a hard look at how I've been handling myself, my platform, my content for the past 3 years. I spent months responding to a controversy that removed blame from my actions, and it wasn't until now that I realized it's time for a change. My content reflects who I am, and for years now I've been making content that I do not want to be remembered by. I'm not proud.
It's just so weird to me that it took him 4 years to learn this, bro. I wonder if there's any like smaller scale YouTube drama Nickisnotgreen has ever gotten in with like another like small YouTuber where he's like fought with them for a while, and like I don't know, some like similar things happen or something. It's just so weird that you can go 4 years without learning this. You know, it's very odd.
Proud of having a career made from ridiculing people and acting like
That's
I know
based.
better and that I'm worthy of judging them. Time and time again, I excused my gross behavior and I cultivated an audience around pretending that I'm a better person than those I criticize. I know that I'm capable of being more than this, and that.
Yeah, I'd take it more seriously if he didn't double down and then walk it back when it negatively impacted him. Yeah, true. Like honestly, if this was his first response, I think people would be. Oh my god, I think people would be a lot more set on Nickisnotgreen, but instead he was like a fucking unhinged psycho and he like lashed out at everyone, right? But I mean, honestly, if he's learning it eventually, then like, good on him. Like again, I'm sorry to make this comparison for like the third fucking time, but I mean that's kind of what we learned with Death Noodles, where he was like an unhinged psycho for the longest fucking time, like completely like delusional and hard headed, and then eventually like. It just clicked for him one day that like he's not better than anyone he covers. He's been acting like a fucking retard, and he actually deserved a lot of the shit he got for a long time, right?
That is going to.
I don't know, like I guess we'll see in time if this is genuine or not. Like that's kind of the conclusion I have from this is like we just need time to see how Nick evolves and if he does any more retarded shit. Then we'll know if this was sincere or not.
Start with immediately changing the content I make to be more intentional, constructive, and meaningful to me. I apologize to those who have watched my content at any point over the last 3 years, and I am committed to improving my character and learning from my mistakes over my time on YouTube. I also want to apologize to any survivors of sexual assault that were disappointed or hurt by the way I've handled this story. It is disrespectful beyond words the way that I have used this
apologize to Don, bro.
Defend my own actions.
Dr. Don.
I won't be making this mistake again. I want to thank those who have given me the time and the chance to apologize and make things right, including loved ones of mine who have helped me grow.
I think he should focus on music. True. Dude, his band broke up, bro.
Where I can understand that I can be better than this. Thank you.
His band is over. Did you not see that? He's not friends with Nickisnotgreen anymore. He still has he's not friends with Ethan anymore, bro. Is this a banger, chat? Why is he in a dress? What the fuck? Is this a banger? I know bangers. I don't know. Oh. Dude, I can't.